Hi there, welcome to Practical Piano. My name is Tia. I've been playing piano for 20 years and teaching for 10, and in this video, we're doing another practice session. So in a practice session, I practice piano, and whenever I think about something that would be useful for you to know as a pianist that would improve your practice, I stop and talk about that thing. I'm going to start with a warm-up. I used to think that warming up didn't matter, but then I started doing it, and I noticed over the course of practicing that the days that I warmed up, I was able to play my music better than the days that I didn't warm up. So, what should you use as a warm-up? If you know some technique, like scales, triads, chords, arpeggios, play those. And if you don't know technique, that's okay. You can do something like place all your fingers on the keys and play them. You can do something like that to warm up. And you can do it several times. You can do it up to 10 times. That should help. And I find it just helps you orient to focus on the piano. And it warms up your hands, makes you feel better overall. The other thing you could do to warm up is play some songs that you already know really, really well before you play the ones that you want to work on. So today I'm going to warm up with my Tonic 4-note chords, and we're going to start with the trickiest one, B flat major. This is broken alternate note pattern. And I'm going to start a little higher so I can hear my cadence. I forgot, I need to turn the volume down so that y'all don't have the bad audio. Okay, so we're going to start with B flat major tonic 4-note chord. Six. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so the 6 of B, B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be G major. That strikes me as strange. Okay, 6. That sounds right too. Okay. 1, 6, 4, or I could do 4, 5. Do this cadence a few times. Oops. Whoops. Okay. Six. No, one first. 1, 6, 6, 1, 6, 4, 5, 5, 7, 1. There we go. Okay, let's try B major. We have to go a bit slower. Okay, 6 be G sharp. 4 would be E flat. Is that right? That doesn't look right. That's a not 4. There we go. E natural would be 4. Then we have 5, which would be F sharp. And then F sharp with a 7. Nope. Yep, and then a 1, which would be B major. There we go. I am not familiar with the cadences for these 4-note chords. I haven't practiced them very much. And so when you're playing something you're not familiar with and you're just learning it, what you want to do is pause and double check what's coming next. It's better to spend a long time getting set up but eventually hit the right notes than it is to rush to hit the notes but not play them right. And the reason it's better is because when you're practicing, you're not taking a test. You don't need to give the right answer right now. And in this case, you don't know what you're playing. You don't know the right answer. So you can't expect to ask yourself to do it and immediately do the right thing. You have to be inputting the information into yourself correctly. So when you're practicing piano, it's more like you're studying for the test. You're going to keep washing your brain in what is the right thing to play, what is the right thing to play. And you do that often enough, you put in the information correctly enough times, and then you will be able to regurgitate it back eventually on the spot. So as you practice, give yourself plenty of time to find the right answer, because what you want to do right now is program in what is the right thing to play, so that later you can recall it. But right now you can't recall it, you have to program it in, so you have to think about what do I need to play, double check it, make sure it's right. Okay, let's do this B major again. Six. Four. which is E, 5, which is F sharp, there we go, let's do it again. 6, 4, 5, 5, 7, 1, 1, 6, 4, 5, 5, 7, 1, whoops, 1, 1, 6, 4, 5, 5, 7, 1. Okay, that's pretty good. My hands are still cold, so I'm going to play some scales. So I can play scales faster, and that way I can warm up my hands. Let's do B flat major. Okay, as I go to play this, I know the scale and I could play it faster, but I can feel my hands are stiff and they're not moving as quickly as I would like. So I'm going slower to accommodate my hands. And you should do that. If you start playing and you feel stiff, move slower and don't quite play as loud, because that extra pressure on stiff joints is not going to be very helpful. So play firmly but not harshly, and at a comfortable pace when you're stiff. Okay, let's do B major. Whoa. One more time, B major. A major. I'm going to replay that again because as I was playing, I wasn't hitting the notes at the same time. Sometimes my notes were hitting left hand first or right hand first. So I'm going to go a little slower and make sure that I'm playing each note together. Bit messy because my fingers are slipping off the keys, which will also happen when your hands feel stiff. So when your hands slip off the keys, there's a couple of things that you can do. You can intentionally play with the flat of your finger because you will have more room. You'll be more likely not to slip off because you have more grip on your finger rather than if you play with just the tip. You don't have very much surface area and you have to be very precise. The other thing you can do if your fingers are slipping off is go a little bit slower and then firm and steady. Intentionally place your fingers on exactly the key you need. Just being intentional and focusing on fixing something when you're practicing is going to help you fix whatever it is you're focusing on. So if you're like, I keep doing this wrong, take that one thing in a small section and focus not on what you were doing wrong. Focus on doing the right thing in that spot. Okay. Oh, we should do our A flat major separated by a third because it's difficult. But first I'll play A flat. I'm doing this with my hands because I felt my forearms get tense, so this helps relax them. Okay. Ta-da! There's a few reasons your hands might be stiff if they aren't usually. They could be physically cold. If they're physically cold, they're more likely to be stiff. So when you go outside, wear gloves, that helps. I noticed during a really busy period of my life that once I stopped being quite so busy, my hands were no longer as stiff when I played piano. And I hadn't even realized I was carrying that much tension or that I was that tired until things stopped being as busy and I was less tired, less tense. So if you're stiff and you're not normally, you could be tired or tense. I can't think of other reasons why you might be stiff today if you normally aren't stiff. If you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments. Okay, I'm going to practice Rialto ripples. Okay. Still a D sharp. Oh. Yeah, we'll use a 3. I had fingering in here in my other copy that's at home, but I don't have it here, and I want to be consistent. So we're going to write in the fingering. 1, 2, 5. Whenever you're learning a song, you want to be consistent with the fingering. So it's okay to deviate from what is written in the sheet music, but when you deviate, scratch out what they wrote and write in what you're going to use. If they didn't provide any fingering, and you notice as you're practicing that sometimes you're using one fingering and sometimes you're using the other, but one of those works better for you, write in the fingering so that you begin to consistently use the same fingering. Now the reason you would do that is the same premise from earlier, where you want to wash your brain in what is the right way to play this song. There's not necessarily a right assignment of fingers for the piece, but the right assignment of fingers is the one that works properly for you. So it should be comfortable, it should be very efficient, and write it in so that you can keep it consistent. Okay, now I think that works better. Yeah, that definitely works better. So we're going to use a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And on this next one, we're using the opposite. We're going 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, that works nicely. 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. Okay. Oh, I keep playing this with a 2. Okay, we're going to put a 1. We're going to make it a little bigger. We're going to circle it so that I get the 1. And we're going to go a little slower so I can focus on what I'm doing. No F sharp. Okay, so let's do, that intro is kind of easy, so let's do where the chords start, because that's a little tricky. I'll hold this one. We'll do this part 2 more times. It's a very stretchy song, so I have to be careful as I'm playing and observe if I'm getting tense or if anything in my hands is starting to hurt, because being stiff today, I'm more likely to injure myself if I'm not careful. I should be careful normally, but I should be especially careful today. So we're not going to drill a lot in this song, we'll just play it a couple of more times. I have to hold this. Okay, let's try that again a little slower. Okay, I hit something wrong there. Oh, it's supposed to be a G at the top. Oh, G sharp. Let's play that part again. It's always good if you play a note and it doesn't sound right, double check it. Sometimes you're going to have notes in songs that you're playing them right, but the notes themselves sound bad. And when that happens and it keeps throwing you off, just write them in, because that way you can see, okay, yes, I've got the right notes, they just sound bad. But often, when you play notes and they sound bad, it's because there's something wrong. So always double check, because sometimes you'll have it right. But more often than not, if there's a wrong sound, or a sound you're not used to in that spot, chances are it's not right. So double check each note that you need to play. Trust your ear, even though sometimes songs have ugly sounds in them. G on the top. Alright, that's enough practice on Rialto ripples. When I picked my songs, I thought Rialto would be my favorite, second to Mozart. But it turns out a new Hidin place, second to Mozart, is my favorite, and then Rialto. I didn't expect to like this one as much as I do, so we're going to practice it because I really enjoy it. Oops. Yay! All right, thank you for joining me for this practice session. One more tip before you go. You heard my timer go off in the background. Setting a timer is one of the most useful things you can do to improve your focus in piano. If you want more to help you improve your focus, check out the iCards. But setting a timer is definitely up there, because one thing that's very distracting when you're practicing piano is checking the clock and seeing what time it is. You wouldn't think that it would take much of your focus away, but it definitely does. It takes a lot more than you think it does. And it leaves you with a kind of tension because you have to watch the time. If you set a timer, you'll be able to relax more into your practice and you can just focus on exactly what you're doing. All right, thank you for joining me for this practice session. If you found it useful, please like it. If you have questions or you want to tell me how your practice is going, leave that in the comments. If you know anyone else who would also enjoy this video, please share it with them. And if you would like more, subscribe.